Welcome back. This is Jeff Byers. This is part 4. And let's go ahead and get right to it. Don't want to waste too much time here. Don't worry about these little shading inconsistencies. That is from the edge loops here. If I click on those, just basically select those edges and I harden the edge, those will go away, or should at least try to go away. Let's go ahead and harden that edge. There they are. So that's what's causing that. Once we smooth everything, though, it'll go away. So the only thing we have to do with these are fairly easy. They should follow all the way down. There might be some discretions here, from here not going all the way through. We can fix that. So there are some indiscretions, but other than that, I think we'll be okay. So let's do the inside first. So I'm going to go into Insert Edge Loop. Okay. And we'll make an easy edge loop here and an easy edge loop here. Okay. And that should go all the way through. Now it won't go on this side, so let's go ahead and do this side over here and see what happens here. Go ahead and add an edge loop here and an edge loop here. Okay. And we'll just continue on finding any edges, the thickness I'm looking for. We're doing the thicknesses first. Okay. Inside and out. So let's get those done first. And try to keep them as consistent as possible. And just keep going down on everything. Let's go ahead and add edge loop here and here. I don't want that one, but I do want this one. See if I can get that down here. Like that. There we go. And then that goes all the way around. That's good. That goes all the way around. So just kind of looking at everything, making sure it all goes around. And that looks pretty good. Just kind of following everything around. I said this one isn't too bad. These are not too bad. Might need to fix some stuff, but other than that, we're good. And this one, I didn't get this one. And usually your best bet is not to go right here, but to add edge loops on the corners. That's probably your best bet on these. Look underneath, make sure everything is done. And just follow it around. Okay. Alright, so then the outside is important. Okay, just as important as the inside. So we'll do two here, one on top here, get pretty close, and one on the bottom here. Okay. And we'll do that all around. One at the top. Okay, and then one at the bottom here. Okay. And then we'll go to this one here, do this one. Again, I'm starting it in the corners if I can. Top and bottom. Look and see if they're going all the way around. Well, there's nothing in the inside, so we're okay there. Alright, so that's important. Okay, anything else I can see here? Those look pretty good. And I think those will work. Let's go in here. At the bottom, that looks like it's pretty good. Okay. Alright, so next step is to see what it looks like when we hit the 3 key. So let's click out of here, hit the Q key, go into selection mode and hit the 3 key, and we'll see what happens here. And you can see that it looks pretty good up to that point right here at the intersection. Anytime we have an intersection, it looks like that. And I know how to fix these things, so it's not a big deal. Those look really nice. I like those. Those turned out really nice there. And those turned out fairly round there, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's hit the click on it again and hit the 1 key. Okay, we'll see what could be wrong here. Okay, so it looks like this one kind of goes into the object here and doesn't really do anything, doesn't go anywhere. That's kind of a problem, alright, when you have something that just doesn't go anywhere. You might have to fix that or get rid of it. Okay, that's a problem right there. But right here, how do we fix this? Okay, so the problem with this is that it just stops here. Okay, now I can do one of two things. I can basically I think the best way to do it is to separate those, okay, as separate pieces, all right? These smaller ones, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong. Nothing's going to happen to it. So basically, I'm going to separate those because those really aren't working very well right here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and click on this guy and shift select everything around like that. Okay. And it goes all the way around to this side too, so I'm going to separate all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and on this, I'm going to hold the shift key down and click on that and click on that. Make this a lot easier for me. I'm going to hold the shift and the alt key or control key, shift and control key to add selection. Okay, and that piece is one large piece right here. So I can go ahead and extract it. So I'm going to go to Edit Mesh, Extract. Okay, that extracts that one. Click off of it, and we got another little piece right here. And we'll have to do that for the rest of them too, so just remember that. Click on Face Mode, and just zoom in a little bit, and rotate a little bit so you're not selecting anything else, and just hold the Shift key down and select it. Marquee select it, and it goes all the way up here. And I'm going to hold the Control and the Shift key and marquee select that part. All the way down here, Control, Shift, marquee select that. And that should get everything right here. So that looks good. And let's go ahead and hold this space bar down, Edit Mesh, and extract. Where are we at here? There we go. Alright, so those are all extracted. So let's take a look at what happens now when we smooth this. Number 3, we smooth it. Look at that. No more weirdness right there. Okay, it's a strap now. Just looks like a strap. Cool. This doesn't look good, so we'll have to fix that. So that's a problem. So you see, we fixed it at the bottom. Now we got to fix it at the top. So again, we've got this little strap here, and it's easy to fix. Again, like I said, you will take it and you'll marquee select it the best you can first. Okay, like that. And we'll marquee select this, hold Shift and the Control key, Shift and Control. There we go. And we just need to go in here with the little ones. Okay, so you have to do this by hand. Hold the Shift key down. Okay, like that. Go all the way around. And if you need to hit the F key, go ahead, just kind of focus it, have it wrap around, rotate. And these are fairly easy to grab a hold of. Okay, like that. Move it around like that. And I see one more piece right here. Okay, great. So that needs to be extracted as well. Just make sure you don't select the big one. Okay, just the ones that are right there, the smaller ones, the thinner ones. And then we'll hold the space bar down and go to Edit Mesh and extract. Here we go. So, with that done, now you can see that if we go to Object Mode and we select this whole piece now, okay, and we hit the 3 key, everything looks good. Look at that. Everything looks perfect. You know, as perfect as it's going to get. There we go. And that looks good. The straps look really nice right here. Okay, awesome. That's what I want them to look like. Now, so what you'll do is, I hate to tell you this, but you're going to be doing the same thing for the rest of them. I will approach it a different way for the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control 1. Okay, Control 1. Alright, you can see we've got this these smaller pieces now. Okay, now I've done some work on these, and this one right here just kind of show you. We're going to break it up into three smaller pieces. So we got the large piece. I'm going to break the two, what I call smaller pieces, but they're just thinner right here. Okay, so we're going to break those away. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to one that's not been broken up, so we can get you started. So we'll just focus on this guy right here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a Control 1, isolate it. And the first thing we're going to do is just separate, extract the pieces, these smaller ones. Okay. And in the other videos you can see that I extruded that, and this looks like this piece, this leather piece, looks like it goes over top of this. Okay, so that's the whole idea behind that. So we're going to go to face mode, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to marquee select this, holding the shift key. And then I'm going to select the rest of them, okay, in this window by holding the control and shift key at the same time and marquee selecting, and that will add a selection. And so that one's selected, and you can go on, and we want that separated. So let's go ahead and extract it. So hold down the space bar, go to Edit Mesh, and extract at the bottom. Alright, so with that done, I'm going to click off. I'm going to go back and click on this. I'm going to do the same exact thing, and I'm going to hold the shift key and make sure I don't select any other piece. Okay, and then I'm going to get a different angle here, and I'm going to hold the control and the shift key, and I'm going to go ahead and select that and try to marquee box select everything, okay, right here for that strap all the way that meets the other side. Just double check and make sure you're not leaving anything. Okay, so I'm going to hold the space bar down and go to Edit Mesh and extract. Okay, click off. Alright, now the idea here is now to go ahead and see what's left. Okay, so this one right here, I've already played around and I know what to expect. That this piece left a remnant on this piece, which will cause problems for you. So let's go ahead and fix that. So what I want you to do is go into Object Mode up here underneath the main menu bar, Object Mode. Click on that, and if it doesn't get out of the face mode, just right click over it and go to Selection and do Control 1, and let's figure this one out. So do Control 1 again. There we go. So you'll have to do Control 1 twice to get it. So if you get kind of confused with the Control 1 hide select, unhide select, what you want to do is go ahead and Control 1, get everything showing, click on the object and do Control 1 again, and that will open, that'll just isolate this one piece. Now you can see, if you see something like this, that's a tall tale sign that there are two faces on top of each other. They're fighting for existence, meaning that they're basically occupying the same space, which is not good for faces on a single object. Now, it's different than when we're doing a high poly and low poly and I say they need to exist in the same space, but not at the same time. Okay, that means that we don't export the high poly and low poly together. We export them separately. So that's a little different. With this, it's basically occupying the same space. That means we have two vertices over top of each other. The thing is, we don't need this line. Even if I delete this face, it will leave, and I create another face here, it will cause a non-planar polygon. Okay, or excuse me, not a non-planar, an n-gon. Okay, an n-gon is anything with more than 4 sides. So if we count, we have one edge, 2, 3, and then we get closer, we have 4 and 5, and that does not work. Okay, so it won't ever smooth right, and you really can't fix it except for deleting the faces and starting over. So we're not going to start over. So we're going to go right click over this, go to face mode. I'm going to click on that face and delete, and notice that there's our rogue face. Okay, it's hard just to select the rogue face, isn't it? So if you're lucky enough to be able to do that, okay, let's try it. Let's try it before we do this. Okay, alright, so how do we click on just that one? Okay, let's see if that'll work. Okay, let's delete that. Okay, great. I was able to do that. If you're not, let me show you how to fix it. Okay, so if you're not able to do that, what you want to do is select both of them. Okay, delete them. Okay, and then you just have to fill in that area. This is a little more work, but it can be done. So you click on that edge, and you're going to do a Control E, and you're going to move that over, okay, like that. And then you're going to just simply go in here, right click, go to vertex, select, marquee select that. You notice that you have two. Now if you don't see this display, you go to display, heads up display, and all the way down and make sure that's check marked, polycount. Alright, and then you can see that displays up here. So if I marquee select it, now if I just click on it, okay, it's only going to show one. That's not helpful. You have to marquee select these, and then you can see two. So what we want to do now is hold down the space bar, go to edit mesh, and then merge to center, and that will take care of that. And I'm going to go ahead and marquee select this. That shows two. I'm going to hit the G key because that remembers the last tool I used. There we go. And so now I don't have any more double faces. Alright, so if you can, try to select the face. And if you can't, you can fix it. Don't worry. So I showed you both ways. So what I'm going to do is go on the bottom and see if I can get that selected. I'm going to hit the delete key, and that should take care of it. Now, did that leave double vertices there? Just even if I just deleted it, let's go to vertex. Let's find out. Let's marquee select that, and it says it's got one vertex. Let's go to the other side. Marquee select it, one. Okay, so we did get rid of it without leaving vertices, extra vertices. So we'll find out real quickly if that really worked. Okay, meaning that if when we smooth it, we don't have anything poking out. So go back to, and I hit the 3 key. I'm going to go back to 1. Okay, let's go to the other side. We know that's the same problem. Okay, all right. And so we know how to fix it now. Okay, so I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to rotate around. Now, if you find that it's hard to rotate around something, what you can do is you can click on the face itself and hit the F key, and that will let you focus around that one particular, or pivot around that one particular selection. So it looks like I was able to select that by itself, and I'm going to hit delete. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing over here to this side. Just try to isolate that, just that one face, and delete. And that's as simple as it can get. Okay, now we're ready to go ahead and add edge loops to these. Okay, so since this is isolated, I'm going to go ahead and select it, and I'm going to go in here and right click over this and go to edge mode. Okay, well, and actually that's not going to help us because I want to do edge loops, so I'm going to go hold down the shift key and the right mouse button and go to insert edge loop, and I should be able to insert edge loops right here and right here. Okay, so just kind of follow along, pause the tape if you need to, if I'm going too fast. So 2 on the outside and 2 on the inside. Just remember that, 2 on each side and in the inside. So you can see 1, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here, and that should work. Right. One other thing that we're going to do is we're going to do 2 here on the outside of these corners like this. Okay, like that, just to support these edges. Okay, and then we're going to do that to the other side here too as well. So we've got, where's that other one? I guess we don't. Okay, so we just have that one, I guess, on this one. Alright, so we're going to go in here, and I think we're good. Let's go ahead and hit the 3 key, make sure that we have that. Okay, that looks good. Okay, awesome, great. Alright, so now we're going to do Control 1, open the other one back up. Okay, so that looks great. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and select this other one here, like that. And we are going to go ahead and add edge loops to that. So I'm going to isolate that by holding Control and 1. And we're going to go in here and do this one. Now these are a little different because they don't have any endings. We don't have any pieces on the ends. And let's go ahead and go and do edge loops. Okay, shift and right mouse button, go to insert edge loop, And then we're going to go in here and start adding edge loops. Let's get a little closer, and let's kind of be consistent with our edge loops. Okay. And the same thing. And what I mean by consistent, meaning that they're spaced out the same. I know you can't get exact, but do the best you can. And at the ends here, it's really important that we do an edge loop at the very end, okay, on each end there, okay. And again, it's getting this, my pivot point of the camera is kind of, when I'm rotating, is getting weird. So if you find that to be the case, then you can stop. You can actually just click out anywhere, hit the Q key, and just select the object, and then hit the F to just frame it, and that will rotate around that. And you can again go to any component mode, hit the F key, and it'll rotate around that axis. Okay, don't forget about that. That's very helpful. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the 3 key on that just to double check on everything. And we've got nice edges on that one as well. Looks very hard surface, so it looks good. I'm going to do Control 1 again. Okay, so that matches up really good. So this one turned out nice, and then we're going to do the other one. Selection mode. Okay, we're going to isolate that one, Control 1, and do the exact same thing. So after I kind of take you through this, I'm going to let you guys go on your own and add the edge loops yourself. And that shouldn't be an issue. And if you need to watch this again, please pause the video and rewind it and watch how I did it again for the other ones if you need to. If you forgot or need help, just keep rewinding it and using this as a template for creating the rest of these, because the rest of them are exactly the same. You'll have the same exact issues on all of those. Okay. So with that said, let's go ahead and go in here and hit the Q key. You always want to get out of that tool, and that's the Q key, Q. And let's go back into selection mode. Let's go up here and go into object mode again underneath the main menu bar and to Control 1. Alright, so all of these, to double check, I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to hit the 1 key, and then I'm going to hit the 3 key. The 3 key gives you a smooth preview, and that looks fantastic. I don't have any issues with that one. Okay, so you've got all the rest of these to do. Okay. Alright, so make sure you get them all finished, and we'll come back. Now, one thing I did find in this one, I will say I found a problem, and I'll show you how to fix it. So I'm going to click on this one, all these little pieces here. This was kind of a tough one to do, and that was the first one I did on the video. So when I finally got to this one, I knew exactly what to do. So anyway, so the other ones should be a little easier. I basically separated them all out first before I started doing edge loops on the next one here. And I wish I would have done it with this one, but you know what, we got through it. So the idea here is to Control 1 on that. Okay, and what did I find out? Well, I found out that there's an edge right here, a problem with that one. And so I'm going to go ahead and select it and hit the 1 key, make sure it's not in smooth mode. You can tell. How do you tell? Well, smooth mode looks like this, right? And low poly looks like this. I mean, this is 3, this is hitting the 3 key, and then this is hitting the 1 key. Okay? Alright. So a couple things that I found out was this one right here has an issue, and whenever we crossed over we had an issue. Okay, so if you have those issues, this is what you can do. I'm gonna hide select this. There we go. Whoops. Control 1 again. There we go. And you can see that, I'll click off here, you can see that little issue right there. It's the same exact problem we had with these lower pieces, right? The ones down here. So if I go in here and let's go ahead and select that face. Alright, this has got all kinds of problems here. So I'm going to hit the F key to focus on that. Okay. So what we can do, we got it to work, but it's not really a good clean work. Okay, now I'm not going to see any. If you don't see any issues, that's okay. But what I need to do is get rid of these little pieces you can see right here. So I'm going to hit the delete key, and that piece we may want to keep. It's the little ones here in here that we want to delete. So I'm going to go delete those a minute. And I'm going to fix this piece here. I don't like that. That's a lot of junk in here. I'm going to fix that up. So I'm just going to basically, I don't know which ones to delete, so I'm just going to delete them all right here. Okay. Alright, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to fix it so it will not be corrupt. And right now it's got too much junk in there. I'm going to really fix that up. There we go. And that one, and then this one right here. It's hard to know which one to delete, so we're just going to delete them all. And it's an easy fix, don't worry. Well, as easy as it can get. Okay, so seeing me do this will help you know how to fix things, you know. You know how I can delete things. You can see what I'm doing. You can see that I'm going to fix this. So, and it's fairly easy. So what I'm going to do is that these edge loops need to go all the way through. So I'm going to keep that all the way through. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edge. I'm going to select, whoops, I'm going to, it's weird. If you have that happen, like you get really close and you need to get closer and it does this, there's a way to fix that. I'm going to get that like that. Go into view, go into camera attribute editor. So view. Okay, now this is on your view panel, right? View. Down to camera attribute editor, and that opens up. If that doesn't open up right away, you want to go back into view again and try it again one more time. Sometimes it gets stuck. And then the near clip plane, I want to add a couple zeros. 1, 2, okay, and that you can see the decimal point is right there, so make sure you don't mess that up, and then hit enter. Okay, now you can see that. See how I can get really close now. Okay, so that's how you can change that. To get out of that, you can just go back in here, select the object, and do Control A. Right. Control A with the object selected will let you go between attribute editor, this, and the component channel editor, this. There we go. Alright, so let's right click over this edge and click on that edge, this one and this one, and we're going to do Control E. Okay, and we're going to use, I'm just going to use the arrow. Now a lot of you don't know how to use this manipulator. Hopefully you do. I think I showed you a couple times, but you use the arrow. You don't click on the scale. These are scale buttons. Okay, this arrow is the move. Okay, so we're going to move that over to that section here. See that right there? So I'm moving that over, and just to that edge right here. Okay, Control E again. There we go, and use the green arrow now over to the next one. Okay, to get as close as you can, and then Control E again. Okay, and move it to the next edge. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to hit Q key, get out of there, click off anywhere, and now we've got some vertices we've got to weld. We're going to weld the outside vertices, so I'm going to click on vertex, and we're going to start with this one. We're going to see if that one has, that has 1. This one, let's click on this one, marquee select it, right, marquee select, we have 2, so we've got to weld that. How do we do that? We merge vertices, right? So edit, merge to center. Okay, so we got 1 done. Okay, that's good. We're going to go to the next one. That's 2. You can see up here. And then we're going to hit the G key, right? Right? Did that work? Nope, it didn't work. So I'm going to marquee select it, hold down the space bar, go to edit mesh, and merge to center. I'm going to do marquee select the other one and try the G key again. That just remembers what you did the last time. So there, that one worked. Okay. And we go down to the bottom where we extruded that, and we're going to marquee select that, hit the G key, marquee select that, hit the G key, And if it doesn't work, the G key doesn't work, right? It's not working, so I have to hold down the space bar and manually do it and merge the center. And let's see, is that doing it? Nope, I didn't do it. G key, there we go, that did it. And did that work? That one's got 2. G key, okay, finally worked. You have to maybe marquee select it a couple times and try it. And there it is. Okay, so how do I know if it worked? Okay, if we can get it to work. Let's go ahead and go on this side and do the same exact thing as we did before. Okay, all right, and we're going to do Control E and extrude. Okay, Control E and extrude that over to that one, and then Control E and move that over to that one, and then I'm going to go in here and right click and go to vertex mode, and then we're just going to go ahead and merge these. Okay, that's one there, that's 2, so let's go in here, edit mesh, and merge the center, and see if I can hit the marquee select it, and hit the G key, marquee select it, and hit the G key, and that's working. Okay, I'm double checking everything else. Okay, let's go to the bottom here, marquee select, G key, and G key. There we go, just make sure everything else is taken care of. Okay, alright, so so that's fixed. So you know how to fix things now, and you got to be careful with what you're deleting here, right? So you don't mess things up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the 3 key, and we still have some issues right here, but the only way to fix that would be to go in here and delete faces to make sure there aren't double faces on this one. So let's go ahead and I can do that. You know, that's a lot harder to do and to fix. Let's go ahead, Control Z back, right? Is that going to be a problem? I don't know if it will be or not. So I don't, you know, and it's one of those things that sometimes that happens, but when I click off of it, it's just in there, right there. So I'm wondering if it's just that vertex right there. So do I get rid of that face? So can I get rid of these faces here and try to fix it? Delete that one, and then do the append to polygon tool. Do I do that? Sure, I can try. So let's go to selection mode and hold the shift key, right mouse button, and append to polygon tool. I can go in here and start on any edge and just kind of follow it around. Okay. Let's see here. And it looks like there is an issue with it because it goes all the way across. So there's an issue with that whole piece, and it's telling me it's this piece right here. Okay, so let me go Control Z back since that append polygon tool isn't working. I'm going to hit the Enter key and excuse me, backspace key, and just click on the Q key, and it tells me that there is something bad right there. So I'm going to select those faces and delete them. This whole row. Okay. So I'm going to try a different route with this one. So I'm going to go to Edge mode. And the thing is, you may not run into the same issue that I have. I don't know. So what I'm going to do, I think before I do that, I'm going to go delete by type history and freeze transformations. Okay. Now I'm going to go into face mode here again and try to fix this. So Control E, right? And move that down. Okay, now I'm going to move it all the way, right? I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to use the weld tool. So I'm going to go in here and go to selection mode and hit the Q key, right? And hold down the shift and the right mouse button, go to target weld, and I'm going to click anywhere. Okay, I'm going to right click over and go to vertex so I can see my vertices. And I'm going to click on that guy and move it, and just hold down the left mouse button and then go to the next one. Click on this one, hold down, go to the next one. Click on this one, hold my my left mouse button down and go to the next one. It just takes some practice to do. There we go. So now see if we fixed it. So I'm going to hit the Q key again, go to selection mode, and hit the 3 key. That's much better. That's what it should look like. Okay, so we fixed it. Alright. Now I probably should fix this one, but you know, and I'm not going to take the time to do that right now because we need to move on. But you know, if you want to fix these little issues, they're time consuming sometimes, like you saw on that one. But the funny thing is that unless we have a terrible bake, and I don't think that'll happen, and if I go Control 1, you really don't notice that. Okay, you don't notice those pieces, right? So should I've really taken the time to fix that? You know, it really depends on a lot of factors. One being, is it visually, does it impede the visual aspect of the piece? If not, then you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click on these and hit 1. Let's go back into object mode. There we go. So I'm going to select everything. Just make sure we're in 1, and make sure we're in object mode by hitting the object mode icon up there, and hit 1 to make sure everything is at 1. So now we know how to fix things if we run into those, and there's different ways to fix things. So this was a good, I know this is a long video, but it was a good thing to do. And what you need to do is make sure you get all of these done all the way down, and finish this piece right here, and then we move on. Okay. All right. I'll see you in the next video.